Hey there, pirates! Welcome aboard the Anime No Mi channel. Incredible. One Piece fans have noticed something that will change the course of the story forever. Did Gol D. Rogers' sword really get passed down to Luffy and Elbaf? And does he already have it in his hands? In today's video, I'm going to reveal all these updates for you. Leave a like on today's video and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. That way, you'll win your favorite sword. Comment which sword you'd want if you were in the One Piece world. Now, let's get on with the video. Guys, something incredible seems to have been discovered by fans during Chapter 1127 of the One Piece manga, now that the Straw Hat Pirates have arrived in Elbaf and begun their adventures on the Island of Giants. During their short stay on Elbaf, we see a giant cat king who can transform into a lion, hunting and attacking Nami and Usopp. This is the main focus of the first half of the chapter, where we even see Usopp getting hit and nearly losing consciousness. At that moment, Nami finds only one possible way to escape, using Usopp, who was already injured, as a shield so she could survive. But Nami's plan didn't even need to be put into action, as Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji finally appear in the chapter, attacking the Lion Cat and quickly defeating it. Obviously, it wouldn't be able to defeat the monster trio. It is at this point in the chapter that many people noticed two very important and impactful points. The first point is a great reference we see in this chapter. In it, only Nami, Usopp, Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy appear. Frankie, Robin, Chopper, Brook, and Jinbei are left out, and there's a reason for that. Upon arriving on the Island of Giants, we were only shown the Straw Hat Pirates who were in Little Garden, the prehistoric island where giants were introduced in the story. A great reference meant to bring us a bit of nostalgia, especially since we've been waiting for Usopp to reach that island since the beginning of the story. Now, the other point fans noticed is the sword that Luffy was carrying when seen from afar. Luffy was standing on top of the giant cat, now defeated, during the last page of the chapter. Luffy was carrying a sword in that scene, which changes when we zoom in on Luffy in the final frame of the chapter. After all, upon seeing him up close, he was now holding a gigantic axe. But what matters to us right now is talking about the sword he was previously carrying. Some fans got excited and began discussing how that sword could be the Ace Sword, the Pirate King's sword. And now, talking about it, I need to reveal to you that no, that sword is not the Ace Sword, and we can tell because of the sword's hilt. The Ace Sword, which was used by the former Pirate King Gol D. Roger, closely resembled a long cutlass. However, the sword Luffy seemed to be carrying was somewhere between a long sword or short sword, as seen by the style of its sheath. In any case, it's quite different from what we see in the anime. That's not the Ace Sword, but even so, at some point, Luffy could use this sword, which is extremely important to the story. We will soon return to discussing the importance of the Ace Sword. But first, let's talk about the axe Luffy is carrying. All the Straw Hats had changes in their visuals, and honestly, I don't understand why the quick change between the sword and the axe. Maybe it was a simple drawing error. Maybe Oda forgot he had drawn a sword first and then drew an axe. Or perhaps it has something to do with the drink that Nami and Usopp took, which made them have illusions. But in the end, it's interesting to see the visual changes of the Straw Hats. Besides that, many other strange things happened. Luffy seems to have confused Gear 4 with Gear 3 at the moment he attacked the giant cat. Sanji decided to eat insects, which is something he would never do. After all, we see during episode 149 of the One Piece anime that Sanji seems to fear insects, and being someone who cares deeply about the quality of food, he wouldn't simply decide to eat insects. Additionally, we are seeing Yggdrasil, and it is much smaller than we expected, if that is really Yggdrasil, as fans believe it to be. However, I don't think that is Yggdrasil. Another thing I wonder is, when we saw Luffy from behind, he didn't seem to have the hat on his back. And unless the hat is hidden inside that helmet, we don't know where Luffy's straw hat is. Now, let's get back to talking about the Ace Sword, because it is the focus of today's video. And the question still arises, why is this sword important, and where is it? Throughout Gol D. Rogers' great achievements, from the God Valley incident to his epic battles with Whitebeard, the Ace Sword was always present. During all these feats, it was never shown that the sword suffered any significant damage, which serves as proof of its immense durability and resilience. And Roger demonstrated many times the cutting power of this powerful sword, even managing to easily defeat Odin, a powerful swordsman from Wano. It also clashed multiple times against Whitebeard's blows. The Ace Sword is shrouded in an intriguing mystery, as it is currently lost in history. After Gol D. Rogers' execution and the end of the pirate era, the sword disappeared, leaving behind only legends and speculations about its fate. Many believe that the sword might have been hidden or even destroyed to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. However, its current location remains unknown. The appearance of the Ace Sword is equally fascinating. It boasts an elegant and imposing design, with a long, sharp blade that radiates radiates a golden glow. The sword was crafted with great care and attention, making it a coveted weapon among many powerful swordsmen. Beyond its exceptional durability, the Ace Sword is known for its incredible destructive power. The blade can cut through almost any obstacle, be it a massive warship or a formidable enemy. Its power is amplified by the fierce and indomitable spirit of Gol D. Roger, who propelled his attacks with unmatched energy and determination. Furthermore, the Ace Sword is a powerful combat tool that was wielded in the past by the legendary Pirate King, Gol D. Roger. It served as his primary weapon and is classified as one of the 12 Supreme Grade Meito. This classification indicates that the quality of the Ace Blade ranks among the finest ever created, making it one of the most powerful weapons of all time. Its strength is rivaled only by a few other notable blades, such as Whitebeard's Murakamogiri and even Mihawk's Yoru. The possibility of Luffy, the fearless captain of the Straw Hat Pirates, finding and wielding the Ace Sword is an idea laden with emotional significance for Luffy and all of us fans. After all, the sword shares the same name as his beloved brother, Portgas D. Ace, who sacrificed his life to protect Luffy during the battle at Marineford. Throughout his epic journey to become the Pirate King, Luffy has demonstrated remarkable skill in gathering allies and valuable treasures. The concept of Luffy finding the Ace Sword and wielding it in honor of his fallen brother is deeply symbolic and touching. We can imagine different scenarios for the moment when Luffy might obtain that sword. Perhaps, after a long and arduous search, facing numerous challenges, he finally encounters the legendary sword. It shines before him, emitting an aura of power. Or maybe it's a more emotional moment, given that Ace's brother was named in honor of the sword, the very sword used by the pirate who inspired Luffy's dreams, the man who became the Pirate King. Luffy would be moved to hold that sword even if he didn't necessarily fight using it, as he would be carrying Ace with him. Additionally, it's worth remembering that the Sun God used a sword, and perhaps the sword that Gol D. Roger wielded was the same sword used by Nika and later by Joy Boy. After all, this sword was only seen in a silhouette, and though it appears small in design, we see the same image as Roger's sword. In Luffy's hands, the Ace Sword would symbolize the union of two brothers, their unbreakable wills, and perseverance in the face of adversity. Enemy pirates would tremble before the immense power Luffy could wield through this mighty sword. Luffy would use the Ace Sword not just as a combat tool to defeat his enemies, but as a beacon of hope for those who dare to dream. In his hands, the sword would become a symbol of freedom, as we know that Luffy represents Nika, the embodiment of freedom. But now, I want to know your opinion. Do you think Luffy will inherit the Ace Sword that was once used by Gol D. Roger, or not? Also, what do you think of these initial events in the apparent Elbaf? Comment below. That was today's content. We hope you liked it and want to share your opinion on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay amazing.